Hey, the long top 10s here. So, today we will be talking about some runes. Now, if you don't know what a rune is, it is an ancient Norse word for mystery. Yeah, so these are the top 10 most mysterious ancient mysteries of all time. Literally is what I'm trying to say, but we're going to talk about using the word runes. So, most of you guys know what runes is, but just want to tell you if you don't know. So, number 10, we'll be starting off with the Vimos column. Now, dated from around 160 AD, the Vimos comb contains the oldest known runic inscription in the world, written in Elder Futhark script. The Proto-Norse message reads, Harja. Experts believe this antler comb discovered in the Danish island of Funen once belonged to a soldier. Scandinavian soldiers wore two belts. That's right, two belts. The stronger outside belt held items like knives, fire-making tools, and a purse. It is likely the comb would have been carried in the purse on the outside belt. Now, Elder Futhark is named for the first 6 letters of its alphabet. The system was prevalent in northwestern Europe between the 2nd and 8th centuries. Inscriptions in this 24-rune system have been discovered on jewelry, weapons, and rune stones. Younger Futhark gradually replaced the older system starting in the 6th century. Knowledge of how to read the elder language was lost until 1865, when Silvus Buggy deciphered the ancient code. 9. Rook runestone. Now, in the 1940s, archaeologists discovered the Reich runestone in this place called Östergötland in Sweden. Covered in 800 cryptic runes, the stone's message has long been a mystery. Experts believe the 2.5-meter stone, carved from fine-grained granite, was erected in the late 800s. Considered an artistic and literally masterpiece, the stone was commissioned by Varen in honor of his deceased son. For 70 years, most researchers believe that the rock runestone contained a complicated tangle of tales related to heroic feats. However, recent analysis views the inscription as a series of riddles that describe the stone itself. Messages on the front discuss how to read the stone. Ones on the back refer to the carving process and the runic alphabet. 8. This thing called the Van Stena Bractate. So, now, in 1774, treasure hunters unearthed a gold medallion in the Vadstena in Sweden. Dating to 500, the Vadstena bracelet contains the oldest and most complete listing of the 24-letter Elder Futhark rune alphabet. The first portion of the runic inscription has never been deciphered, but most people believe it is a curse or a magic spell. Experts link the iconography, which includes a 4-legged animal, a man's head, and a bird finger, with Odin, now a Norse god. So, bracelets were gold disc-shaped pendants specific to early Norse culture. The bracelet was worn as an amulet, which was led to considerable speculation about its function. Most agree it was magic and intended to protect its wearer. According to reports, it came as part of a larger hoard that was almost entirely melted down by a local goldsmith, until a clergyman stopped it. Stolen from the Swedish Museum of Antiques in 1938, the Vadstena bracelet has never, ever been recovered. Poor luck for that thing. 7. Codex Runicus. So, this thing is a Danish legal manuscript written in runes. Composed around 1300, the medieval document's use of traditional Scandinavian script reflects a tension between the West and the region's indigenous culture. Introduced in the 11th century, Christianity and this Latin script were seen as foreign and potentially threatening ideas. The legal document was supposed to reflect Danish values, so it was written in runes. The codex contains Scandinavian law, referring to the eastern portion of the Danish kingdom, now part of Sweden. The document contains two lines of a ballad, making it the oldest known of Scandinavian scalar music. The 202-page manuscript is composed in a 27-letter medieval runic alphabet, with one letter for every Latin one. 6. This thing called the Odense Rhinestick. While excavating an ancient Danish fish market, archaeologists unearthed an 800-year-old Rhinestick. The 3.3-inch piece of wood was once worn as an amulet. Researchers deciphered the 13th century code message. Tommy, his servant. This refers to the owner's name Tommy and servant, being servant of God. Good health is also inscribed. When the stick was uncovered, it was in 3 pieces. Had the consistency of cold butter, and a root had gouged one of the inscriptions. The stick was founded at Sadabordien, which means heron stalls, near Odense in Denmark. In the 11th century, Latin script began to replace runes in Scandinavia with the arrival of Christianity. The ancient runes had a distinct advantage, as they were easily carved into hand natural materials like wood and rock. The Latin alphabet was incredibly hard to carve, and best suited for parchment, a material far beyond the budget of most rural Scandinavians. 5. Amulet of the High One. This year, 2016, Danish archaeologists discovered a gold amulet bearing an image of Odin. Odin was the Scandinavian god of war and king of Asgard, home of the gods. You know, Thor the movie, right? Who knows that? Everyone does. He has been identified through a runic inscription, the High one of Odin's many nicknames. Unearthed on island of Lawland, the talisman is believed to be roughly 1,500 years old. Since 1902, only 2 similar amulets have been discovered. It is one of the earliest known depictions of figures from the Norse religion. On the amulet, Odin appears hovering above a horse, alluding to the god as a horse healer. The gold amulet was discovered alongside gold and silver pieces, believed to be sacrificed at the same time. Records indicate 536 BC was a particularly brutal year, with reduced sunlight and a very cold climate. These sacrificial objects may have been intended to placate the gods, fearing a famine and failed harvest. 4. Thoth's missing masterpiece. While installing a lightning conductor at a church in Hackby, Sweden, workers discovered an ancient runestone, dated to the mid-11th century. The stone is 1.8 meters long and 1.3 meters wide. Experts have attributed the work to master rune carver Thoth. While not signed, the rune style is consistent with other discoveries attributed to the 11th century rock carver. Runes were typically carved into wood. Only a master stonemason would have been able to tackle a project like the recently discovered stone. Now, the rune stone has been missing for nearly 200 years. It can be seen in 17th century depictions of the original church that stood at the site. When the medieval church was torn down in the 19th century, records list the rune as missing. Yahoo! They finally found it. 3. Anyway, that was number 3, by the way. How do you say this? Yabidi stone. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I don't think I said that right. Brothers in northern Denmark recently unearthed a runestone that had been missing for 250 years. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Now, buried among the ruins of an old farm was a rune-cloaked monument last seen in 1767. The artifact has been dubbed the Yebedi stone, based on its runic inscription. The recent find was compared to the drawings of the missing stone and determined to be a perfect match. The presence of the stone attests to the importance of Vai and the western part of Lenford were during the Viking Age. After the initial discovery, researchers located 2 more components to the ebony stone. One containing the top portion of the runes, another one contained a fragmentary runic inscription of NSI. It is believed the stone was broken into 8 different parts. 2. Narragansett runestone. Now, this has been the subject of much debate and a lot of controversy. The 6-ton, 7-foot boulder came to the attention of archaeologists in 1983. Its 2 lines of carved rune-like symbols were considered evidence of early Viking exploration of the Rhode Island coast. You know, a state of the United States? Now, according to the Rhode Island Historical Preservation and Heritage Commission, there were several engraved rocks in the Narragansett Bay region. In 2012, however, 4 years ago, the rune stone mysteriously disappeared. Boom. A year-long investigation recovered the misplaced stone. How the rock was moved and who aided investigators in the rock's uncovery remained a mystery. Oh no, probably some idiot decided to bring a crane and, you know, they just probably moved it somewhere else. Probably in their home or something. Well, that man will be arrested. Because it is very, very historical. Why would you even move it? Now, the recovered rock is sealed under lock and key. And the lock and key is gone. The plot thickened when Everbrown 65 of Providence revealed that he carved the rune-like symbols 50 years ago. Wow, that's pretty dumb. Now, according to locals, the piece was in existence at least as early as the late 1950s. The stone was real. However, its Viking origins are suspect. So, I don't know. Probably some idiot decided to... It looks like Everbrown decided to carve out rune-like symbols. Probably wants to be an archaeologist one day. Probably knows Norse language. I don't know. One. Number 1 is Bjork Tarp, Cursed Runestone. The tallest runestone in the world is also one of the most terrifying ever. This is located in Blekinge in Sweden, measures about 14 feet tall, alright, and carries bad omens. Dated between the 6th and 7th centuries, the stone's inscription in Elder Futhark reads, I see perdition. This is the shorter of 2 inscriptions. The longer one explains that this is a rune of power and promises a plague, death, and destruction upon anyone who breaks the stone. Okay, I'm an idiot, so I'm gonna break it. Yeah. And then I get bad omens. Oh no, it's just probably a lie or something. Now, there's been a lot of cursed stones. Now, the Bishop Tarp cursed stones may have been carved by a master stonemason, who also made some works in Stentofen, Gummarp, and Astaby. Not only they do contain similar messages, but the stones share a common artistic style. Also discovered in 1823, the stone for Fountain Runestone contains a similar proclamation of it being a rune of power and containing a curse against anyone who violated it, by breaking, for example. The Astaby is a memorial of Herewulfi, the son of Herewulfa. So, alright guys, that is the top 10 runes ever. So, if you have any other ancient runes that you know of, just let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, log on top 10s. Don't forget to ring that notification bell to make sure that you never miss another video from me again. Don't forget to like this video, or rather thumbs up. And don't forget to let me know in the comments down below. Well, actually, subscribe to the comments down below. I'll make random ones every day, so just remember that, alright? So, what I was about to say is that just let me know in the comments down below what other runes you know of that I have forgot in this video. Alright, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time in another awesome video. Take care.